Good evening. Good evening. Today is Friday. Yay! The weekend has begun. And for those of you who celebrate, happy Valentine's Day. I hope that all of you who are around and not out hanging out with your love, then, thank you so much for coming in or watching. And so we'll just get started, why don't we? So yesterday we talked about just living in today, right? So it's today only was yesterday's topic, and it was a quote by Will Rogers, very short quote, and so I didn't talk that much, which is unusual for me. Anyway, so yesterday's quote was, "Don't let yesterday take up too much of today." Stop thinking so much about what happened yesterday or what you did yesterday or whatever. Just live for today and live it gloriously. So we're talking about today, courage and bravery. Let's get into it. All right. Courage is the willful strength to fight and the mindfulness to understand why you're fighting. Bravery is the strength of character that allows you to overcome. Be courageous enough to hold on to the fights that you need to, but also brave enough to let go of what is not worth fighting for. Okay, let's get into that. So the last sentence kind of remind me of the little anecdote, pick your battles, right? So if something is not worth fighting about, don't. Because, sometimes you have to save your strength to fight for something that's worth fighting for. And having an argument or being right all the time is not necessarily something that you want to fight for. Because, sometimes you can't change other people's minds. And in order to have peace of mind, you need to just let go of some things. But, also have the fortitude to fight for what you need to fight for. For instance, I was looking at a video about charity water and how it got started, and how the young man was a club promoter. And so when he decided that he was going to start this charity, he used his skills as a club promoter to put together a party, basically, and raise money to basically get this business off the ground. And so that kind of put a spark in my head. Sometimes you're thinking you have to wait until everything's in place, but you have to sometimes have the courage to say, you know what, I'm just going to start now and see where it takes me. Because also sometimes, you may not hit the mark on the head the first time, but you still have to have the courage and the bravery to just keep going and keep marching on to get to where you need to be. So as I was watching this video, I said, you know what, that's a good idea. Use the talents that you have to fight for what you want, right? So I can cook. I can do a baking contest or cook for people and have people come and buy plates or whatever to start my charity to house homeless families. Why not? I can also use my business platform to say, or my fan page here to say, you know what, here's what I want to do. I want to start building buildings or have buildings with nice apartments, not some open space thing where people are getting hurt. I want to have the families to be together in a place where they can feel safe and they could actually be a family again without having to worry about, well, I don't have any money to pay for this. It's free until, except maybe they'll work in there. And somebody says, well, somebody's going to steal your idea if you if you tell everybody else, I hope they do. Because the thing about it is everybody can help. Not one person can't do it all, but one person can get it started, right? So if somebody steals the idea, fantastic. I'm still gonna do mine. So that would be my idea of courage and bravery, is to just get out there and do it until my millions get in my bank account. Right? So but being courageous can mean different things for different people, right? Because you hear a lot of stories about how maybe somebody saved somebody's life in a house or a fire or something, and it's kind of depressing to talk about, but it happened. To save the children with the active shooter guys. A lot of the kids got hurt, but there were brave and courageous things that came out of it, because there were not only adults doing brave and courageous things, there were children doing brave and courageous things. So that can mean, those types of bravery and courage. But maybe somebody fighting through just being. You have people who are on drugs who fight through getting off drugs for the sake of their family. I think that's brave, and I think that's courageous for them to do that and really succeed at it, because they want to make sure that their family's taken care of. That's brave and courageous. I was thinking about also in my situation where I'm retiring in 2 months. And I'm happy, but it's also a little scary, because I've been working for 30 years on the same job, but I've actually been working since I was 10. So I've been working for 45 years almost. And so working on a job for 45 years and then going off and retiring and going into another business of your own, it's a scary thing. And I think I'm being pretty courageous and brave in doing that. But, and everybody has a different interpretation of it, right? So don't get into bravery is not necessarily fighting either. You know what I mean? If you can be brave and avoid a fight. That's also bravery. You can avoid a fight and keep yourself and other people safe. But if you have to, because pick your battles kind of thing. If you have to get into physical altercations to protect someone or whatever, that's also bravery, because now what's happening is not only are you protecting your family, you're protecting yourself or protecting whoever it is you're protecting. So I think this topic or this anecdote can have different meanings to different people. And you just want to put your own spin on it, because I can put my spin on it all day. As you can see, I'm a talker. But if you want to take a look at it, I really encourage you to read this, because a lot of this stuff, if you read it over and over again, things will start coming to your mind. Say, what is courage? What does it mean? What does it mean to me? What does it mean to someone else? What does it mean to the people around me? And what is bravery? Bravery can be a lot of things. People say, well, people are brave about sharing their story. And sometimes you have to have a little bravery to do that, depending on the story. I said that when I started this whole review, that I was going to be sharing some personal things with you. And I have. Maybe not everything, because I'm not ready for that yet, but you have to do things like that a little slowly, and to make sure that the people that you're talking to understand why you're sharing. You know, it could be brave, it could be courageous, but, you know, kind of lead up to it and, and so they can understand why you're sharing. Now, one of the things that I do want to share, though, about me, and I think I shared it before, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, when I was younger, I had a baby that died. And I think I would have been completely broken if I didn't have the courageous and brave people around me. Now, they called me brave and courageous because basically after the depression phase was over, well, not over, but, you know, it had diminished a little, I moved on, and I remember my child. I will never forget her. But in order to say I was a brave person, you know, that's comes in different interpretations. Was I brave? I don't know whether that's what that means. But I think about her all the time. I think about her especially on different occasions, you know, like birthdays and holidays and Christmas especially, and because she was born in December. And the thing about it is that her birthday was like 10 days before Christmas. So, you know, that time of year can be a little rough, but you have to keep going, you know, because I have other children, and for me as a mom, I had to make sure that my other children were taken care of as I was going through that issue. So, you know, bravery can come in different forms. And, you know, whatever your story is, as far as your bravery or your courage in doing whatever you needed to do for you and your life, then, you know, everybody has a different interpretation of it. And so you give me your take on it. Again, thank you so much for joining me or viewing my live. If you're viewing this on the replay, I thank you still. And if you could like and share the video, I really would appreciate it. And so since it's Valentine's Day, dinner. I am going, not going out, but I'm just going to enjoy my time at home. My daughter and my son-in-law went out for their husband and wife dinner, so I'm just going to hang out here and enjoy my time alone. So, you guys, thank you so much. I wish you peace. I wish you love, and I love you guys. Thank you so much again. Have a great night. Bye-bye.